So I know that the title says ugly, but I actually think it turned out kind of cute. So I suppose it's still sort of pumpkin weather, but let's be real, all the pumpkins that we carved are now filled with mold and are disgusting as they just turn into a pile of goop. So I'm of the mindset that come November 1st, it is Christmas time, you guys. So in preparation for Christmas Day to actually get here, I've got this awesome project. I'm super excited about it, and it is going to be an ugly Christmas sweater. Now, first of all, like I said, I actually think mine turned out kind of cute. Like, it's kind of like tacky just because it's homemade, and like, okay, like I probably wouldn't design a sweater with like the holes like this, but I'm actually like really happy with how this turned out, and I kind of think that I could wear this to an ugly Christmas sweater party, or just like whenever I feel like dressing festively, so I'm kind of happy about that. So what I love about this crochet along is that you don't have to follow a pattern and like figure out which size you are, because let me tell you, this is actually the first like clothing piece, like not counting scarves or hats, but the first like clothing piece that I've ever actually finished and then worn, because all the other ones that I've done have either been my own pattern and I just haven't gotten around to finishing them, that cable sweater, or else I follow a pattern and I read the size and I check my gauge, but when the project is all said and done, it still doesn't fit quite like I was thinking it was going to. So what's super cool about this is I'm going to show you exactly how to make this to fit you. There's not going to be a lot of counting stitches. There's not going to be, oh, if you want this measurement, you do this many stitches, or oh, you gotta make sure you're in the correct gauge. I'm gonna show you how to work this project so that way it is basically customized for you. So super cool. This is going to be probably a 4-part video series, possibly 5, but I think we'll do it in 4. Watch, it'll end up taking me like 6 videos or something ridiculous. But we are going to be crocheting an ugly Christmas sweater that actually might turn out pretty cute. Another cool thing with this is you can totally go crazy with your color schemes, and you can totally go crazy with how far to the like ugly tacky end or the cutesy festive end that you go, because it's super easy to customize. But for today, we're going to first of all talk materials, and then we are going to work on making the waistband. As far as materials go, I wanted this to work up quickly because, let's be real, holiday season is crazy busy and nobody has time for like extra projects. So if you're going to be making your own ugly Christmas sweater, you probably want it to go fast, or at least as fast as you can expect. So we're going to accomplish this in 2 ways. First of all, I'm going to use my ever favorite Red Heart Super Saver yarn. This is awesome because it's an acrylic yarn, which means it'll wash really well. I've washed Red Heart yarn with some other products before, didn't have any problems, so that's always nice. Second thing is it's not super expensive. So if you do get done with this project and it ends up like really far on the like ugly tacky end, and you're like, I will literally wear this to this one party and never again, it's good because it also means you won't be spending a ton of money on really nice yarn. So this is actually like a really ancient scheme that was gifted to me, but this is still gonna work just fine for me. What you're going to need is obviously your colors. I'm going with red, white, and green, and I would recommend getting all of these in the same kind of yarn, so get all Red Heart or get all the same acrylic yarn. Next thing we're going to need is our crochet hook. I'm using a size K. This one is 6.5 millimeter, just a basic Royal aluminum hook. Love these things. This is actually probably one of my very first crochet hooks that I ever crocheted with, fun fact. And that's really all we're going to need as far as materials go. Obviously, you know, we may need some scissors later on, or a tapestry needle to weave in ends. Speaking of which, I've still got to weave in ends on this thing. But let's jump in to making the waistband. To make our waistband, because we want it to have some stretch to it, we're not going to work in a big loop around. We're going to make this long thin strip that has the stretch to it, and then we will fasten the ends together. And the rest of the project will be worked going in the round. What's nice about the waistband is it doesn't matter how small or how large you are going around, everybody gets to do the same exact process. So I'm going to start by making a slip knot and inserting my hook. And I am going to chain a total of 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm going to turn my work over and work in the back of my stitches. I'm just going to work in these bumps here along the back. So when I flip it over, because I did 7 chain stitches, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those bumps. I'm going to skip the first bump, come to that second one here, insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. And basically I'm just crocheting a single crochet. And I'm going to do a total of 6 single crochet along these back bumps. So I'm going to do my second single crochet in the next one. So that's my second single crochet. Come to my third bump, work a third single crochet right in that spot there. Work a 4th single crochet, a 5th single crochet, and then a 6th and final single crochet. Now I am working my stitches pretty loosely because, as I said, I don't want this project to take me forever. I've got stuff to do this holiday season, so I'm going to be working my stitches pretty loosely. Plus this will give it more stretch, so if you're partway through your project and you realize, uh-oh, it's a little smaller than I thought it was going to end up, it'll have some stretch and you might be able to still make it work. Plus, you know, if you can't wait on Santa to come to eat all the cookies, or, you know, Thanksgiving gets here and you know, put in a little extra padding, you know, a little extra stretch wouldn't hurt, right? So for making the waistband, we're going to be working 6 single crochet back and forth to make this really long thin strip. So we're going to work on our next row and I'll show you guys the catch. So we're going to start by chaining 1. This is going to be our turning chain. We're going to flip our work over. Now here's where the catch is. If you look at our stitches from the top, we're going to work our single crochet in just the back loop. So I'm going to insert my hook. I'm looking from the top, not in this front loop here, but just through the back loop. Insert my hook right there. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 to work my first single crochet for this row. Come to the next spot, again working just the back loop. Gonna work a single crochet right there. Work our next single crochet in the next spot. Remember, work just in the back loops. That's the trick to making the waistband. A 4th single crochet, a 5th single crochet, and a 6th single crochet. Again, working only in the back loop. That's going to create this nice little ridge pattern, and it's also going to give it that extra stretch. I'll show you what we're doing one more time. So chain for our turning chain, turn our work over. We're going to work in this very first spot here, so we're not starting here, we're starting this very first spot, but again, working just the back loop. So come in with our hook right here and work a single crochet. So our first one, our second one, make sure you're working only in the back loops, our third one, our 4th one, only in the back loop, insert in just the back loop for our 5th one, and insert in the back loop for our 6th one. And this is the process we're going to do, and we're just going to keep making this as long as we need it to be to wrap comfortably around our waist. So I'm going to work this longer, and then I've got a model here to help me, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to size it. You can't actually see my face right now, but I just finished working on I keep calling it the waistband. I guess it's really more the hem of the sweater, because I guess sweaters don't really have waistbands. But anyways, I've made it a lot longer, as you can see, just repeating the process of doing 6 single crochet, working in just the back loops. So because I already have a sweater, I'm going to be making a sweater for Beck Pie from Beck Pie Slice of Life. You can't actually see her here. She's going to be the proud owner of the sweater when it's all said and done, and plus she's going to be modeling it for us as I show you how to size it for yourself. So what you want to do is you want to make this pretty long, and then you're going to measure around kind of your hips. Now you can make your sweater as long or as short as you want. How long do you want yours, Beck Pie?
Probably about how far down my hip.
Okay, so I'm just going to come around, and obviously you'd be doing this on yourself or whoever you're making it for. And you want it to fit comfortably around. Now this will stretch like a lot, okay? You don't want to stretch it out like that, because then when you do the next rows, it'll be too tight. So you just want to, you can stretch it a little bit if it needs to, but for the most part you want to just kind of comfortably sit, which I stretched it a bit, so it's kind of loose right now. But I've just gone ahead and sized it around her, so however far down you want it to sit, that's the area you want to measure around. So that feel like a good fit for you?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Now that we've sized it, we are going to join the ends together. So to do so, I'm just going to use simple slip stitches because, let's be real, I hate sewing crochet projects together. That's why I crochet, not sew. So I'm just going to, I keep saying sew a bunch now. Anyways, I'm going to lay this out kind of flat, so that way I don't have any twist in it, because obviously we don't want it to be twisted. just gonna kind of lay it on top of each other. So making sure that this whole length here is flat, no twist. And I'm just going to slip stitch across here. So I'm going to just insert there. And I'm gonna pull through everything. Go to my next stitch here. On this end, go through on that side. And it doesn't really matter where you come through. Just try to hold them together, come through and keep them even, and just slip stitch across to attach them. Come all the way to the very edge. And there you go, just like that, you have attached the hem. Now, what I like to do is I like to make this side be the inside of the sweater. So I'm going to kind of inside out it, if you will, and flip that to the inside. And now it will be time to start working on the torso of our sweater. Now, a couple quick words. I am going to show you the next few rows just so you can get the feel for it, and then in next week's video we'll actually start working up the body and the torso of the sweater. But a couple quick thoughts I'll just throw out there. First of all, at any point in working on the hem, you can change color. And of course, at any point in this entire project that you feel like, hey, I want to do a color change here, you can absolutely change the color. I'm just doing a basic color scheme, kind of like I did the sweater I made for me, but you can change color whenever. I'm not going to change color yet, but if you wanted to change color, you would just fasten this off and then start these next steps that I'm going to show in your new color. But I'm going to keep working in red for a little bit. So let me show you the first row of working along the top here. I'm going to start by chaining 2. And then in the spot where I did my last slip stitch, I'm going to work a double crochet. Now, it's kind of hard to tell, and I'm probably not going to get the exact spot. That's okay. I just want to drop a double crochet in that general area. And what I want to do is I basically want to work a double crochet in every row. So the rows for this, they ran like this. So this is a row, basically between every 2 beams here. There's 2 rows in between there, 2 rows here, 2 rows there. That's kind of a way you can tell where your rows fall. And I just want to work 1 double crochet in the side of every row. So in between every 2 of these upright posts, I'm going to work 2 double crochet. So let me work 1 more here to get through this section, and I'll show you a little better where you can see. And also, it's totally okay if you kind of fudge how many and where you work your double crochet. It'll all still end up okay. So I'm going to look here, and I'm going to work 1 in the top of this row. This is a row right here. I'm going to work a double crochet kind of right up in there. Double crochet right there. Here's my next row. I'm going to work a double crochet in the side of that. I'm going to work this one kind of in this little spot here. Again, I'm working 2 double crochet between every 2 of these posts. So really the trick is it doesn't matter where you work, the key is just to be consistent. So when I work my next 2 double crochet, I want to insert them in the same spot of these sides as I did for these 2. So the first one I put in kind of here, so I'm going to insert there. The next one I did right in here. So between these 2 posts, I'm going to work right there, work a double crochet. And this is going to start working up the torso. Again, the big thing is you just want to make sure that you do 1 double crochet in every row, because there's 2 rows between these 2 posts here. It makes sense to do 2 double crochet between them. It's okay if you don't work your double crochet in the exact same spots I do. The trick is just to be consistent. So once you find a spot that it's easy for you to work your double crochet in, do that in the same spots the whole way down. I'm going to repeat this and work this all the way around my hem. Alright, so as you can see, I've worked these double crochet around most of the way of the hem we started with, so I'm nearing the end, and I'm just going to work a few more in here to fill in this gap, and so it's kind of the same tightness and texture as everywhere else. So I'm going to work these last few double crochet. Again, I'm really not bothering with counting stitches because it's an ugly Christmas sweater. It doesn't have to be perfect. And also what's really nice is if you're making for yourself, everybody's a different size, everyone's a different shape, so you're gonna get a very unique looking sweater. So now that I'm ready to join, I'm going to skip my turning chain and I'm coming straight into the top of my double crochet, that first one from the round, and I'm going to work a slip stitch there. Now what I like to do is between every pattern change, meaning like between the hem or when I go into the shells or when I go into the granny square open section, I like to do 2 rows of double crochet just because it helps kind of keep the shape of the sweater consistent and just keep it on track, and also it creates a nice simple block between the busyness of the patterns. So if I were to do another row where I'm just working double crochet evenly throughout, what I would do is I would chain 2 and then work my next double crochet in the very same spot where I slip stitch. So work it right in the top of that first double crochet from the previous round. And what this is going to do is we'll have this little turning chain that will be between the joins just to kind of fill in the gap there, and also it will create a more hidden and also a straighter seam to our project. So again, I would just work double crochet all the way around, and then when I get back along this side, I will join with a slip stitch in the very top of this first double crochet. But that's all there is to it. I'm gonna finish this round, join it right here, and that's as far as we will get this week. And then next week, I will start talking about how to work up the torso and how to throw in some of those patterns and textures and things. So I'm gonna finish this, and then I'll show you what we've got so far on our model. All right, here we go. I finished that round. Obviously, I'm leaving my yarn attached because I'm not ready to change color yet, but before I have her try this on, I'm gonna make my loop really big so that way we don't unravel this from, you know, the whole skein when she's putting it on. You can step into it either way. And this is the start of the sweater. Like, you're looking good? Yeah. Alright, so this is the first week. I didn't mention this earlier. This is basically like this week's Tutorial Tuesday, but I'm not calling it a Tutorial Tuesday because I'm calling it a crochet along. But anyways, you can look for part 2 of this crochet along to come out next Tuesday when I normally post Tutorial Tuesdays. And as I mentioned, we will be working the torso up to where we stop for the sleeves and where we have to, you know, do these bands and the neck hole and all that. So next week we're gonna work on this big chunk here. I'll show you different ways to incorporate all these funky patterns. So make sure you come back next week for part 2. Also, you might as well check out Beck Pie's channel. Her channel is Beck Pie Slice of Life. She just shares slices of her life, all kinds of fun stuff on there. Gaming videos, videos with her animals, crafting videos, lots of fun stuff. So definitely go check her out and subscribe to her channel. Also, you know, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate that. I am so close to hitting 1,200 subs. That's crazy. You guys are the best. So I definitely appreciate every one of you who subscribes and watches my videos. And make sure that if you enjoyed this video in particular, that you leave a thumbs up on the video and comment below to let me know if you're going to be working on this project along with me. But that is part 1, and I will be bringing you the second part of the Ugly Christmas Sweater Crochet Along next week. Happy crafting! Alright, so I'll be honest, I know there's some of you who are watching this video and you're like, this is a great idea and I'm so glad she's posting this early so we can get us started, but there's a part of you that's like, no, don't let Christmas come this soon. So, just out of curiosity, I would love to hear from you when you start listening to Christmas music. You know, kind of been listening for a few weeks now. But anyways, I know that people fall like all over the place. Like some people wait until after Thanksgiving, some people wait until December 1st, some people are like, I hate Christmas music. So definitely drop those comments down below and let me know when you start listening to Christmas music.